Daniel spent 21 years building a $1 million net worth. Then, in 6 months, he made 3 responsible decisions that could quietly cost him the next million. He moved money out of the market for safety. He upgraded his house because he believed he had earned it. And he hired someone to protect the number. None of those decisions looked reckless. That is exactly why they were dangerous. Because the biggest threat to your first million may not be a crash, a scam, or one terrible investment. It may be what the number makes you do next. Most people ask, how do I become a millionaire? Almost nobody asks what happens psychologically after they get there. $1 million feels like a finish line. In reality, it can make financial decisions harder. A normal market drop suddenly looks like years of salary disappearing. A larger house begins to feel reasonable. Money locked inside a home or retirement account starts feeling spendable. By the end, you will understand the 4 traps that often appear after the first million and the rule that can stop one milestone from quietly damaging the second. Daniel was 47 and worked as an operations manager in Ohio. He built his wealth through a 401, broad index funds, home equity, and years of consistent saving. Then one Friday morning, his spreadsheet showed $1,018,000. For a few minutes, he felt proud. Then the questions started. What if the market crashed tomorrow? Was he taking too much risk? Why was he still driving an old car if he was technically a millionaire? Within 6 months, Daniel changed the exact system that had worked for 21 years. The first trap began with a number that was not what it seemed. Daniel's net worth was above $1 million, but $430,000 was home equity. Another $390,000 was inside retirement accounts. After taxes, restrictions, and the fact that he still needed somewhere to live, his accessible wealth was much lower. This is where paper wealth becomes dangerous. People make lifestyle decisions using total net worth, then pay for those decisions using cash flow. They say, we are millionaires. We can afford the renovation. But contractors do not accept home equity written on a spreadsheet. The payment must come from cash, debt, or investments that were supposed to keep compounding. Track 2 numbers. Total net worth tells you what you own. Liquid net worth tells you how much flexibility you have. Confusing them can make someone look wealthy while becoming cash poor. The second trap is lifestyle inflation disguised as a reward. Before the million, Daniel compared purchases with his income. After the million, he compared them with his net worth. A $45,000 vehicle no longer felt like months of work. It felt like less than 5% of his wealth. A larger house also seemed reasonable. But one upgrade rarely creates one expense. A larger home brings higher taxes, insurance, maintenance, utilities, furniture, and expectations. The first luxury feels special. The 5th feels normal. That is how lifestyle inflation works. It quietly raises the minimum amount required to feel successful. Daniel became wealthier on paper, but less flexible every month. Then the market dropped 2%, and the third trap took over. A 2% decline on $50,000 is $1,000. On $1 million, it is $20,000. The percentage is identical. The emotional experience is not. Daniel had tolerated volatility for 21 years. But after crossing 7 figures, a normal red week looked like months of salary disappearing. So he moved a large part of his portfolio into cash and conservative assets. Not because his retirement date changed, not because his income disappeared, not because his plan failed. He changed it because the number had become painful to watch. The move reduced volatility, but it also reduced his portfolio's potential long-term growth. A market loss appears in red immediately. Opportunity cost never sends a notification. This is where most people misunderstand the $1 million trap. The danger is not always losing money. Sometimes the danger is becoming so afraid of losing it that you stop allowing it to work. Temporary declines are loud. Missed compounding is silent. Crossing $1 million does not automatically change your retirement date, income needs, or responsibilities. It changes the number you see. But doing nothing blindly is not the answer either. The answer is creating rules before emotion creates them for you. This leads to the fourth point. Use a 90-day transition rule. The day your net worth crosses the milestone, freeze major financial decisions for 90 days. Do not immediately upgrade the house. Do not dramatically change your portfolio. Do not make large family loans. And do not hire the first person promising to protect your wealth. Use those 90 days to ask 4 questions. How much of your wealth is liquid? When will you need the invested money? Did your life change or did the number change? What problem is each new decision solving? If retirement is 20 years away, short-term volatility may be uncomfortable but manageable. If withdrawals begin next year, the same portfolio may need a different structure. Risk should follow your timeline, not your excitement, not your fear, and not a round number displayed on an app. Here is the mindset shift that changes everything. Your first million is not a trophy. It is a machine. At an illustrative 7% return, $1 million could grow by roughly $70,000 in a strong year, although returns are never guaranteed. At that scale, your capital may contribute more than you save from your salary. Daniel thought he had reached the destination. He had actually reached the point where compounding could become the main engine. The system that built the first million may not need replacing. Do not interrupt a successful process because it has become large enough to frighten you. Start by calculating liquid net worth separately. List home equity, retirement accounts, taxable investments, cash, and debt. Identify which money is accessible and what taxes may apply. Next, write your investment rules before the next market decline. Record your target allocation, rebalancing schedule, time horizon, and the conditions that justify a change. My account crossed 1 million is not a financial condition. Third, use the 90-day freeze before major purchases, portfolio shifts, family loans, or expensive advisory commitments. Excitement and fear both create false urgency. Share your answer below. If this changed how you think about wealth, like the video and subscribe for more practical finance stories. Then watch the next video on why people earning 6 figures can still feel broke.